Friends, welcome back to yet another session of Thinking on Destiny. We are actually working on the last final points that Percival is giving us, how we can create a thought or how we can think without creating a thoughts which is not creating a destiny. That's where we are in. And we are in the process of merging the doer and thinker. So we still need to go to the knower part. Okay. Before we go further, let's meditate on the consciousness of Percival. Please cross your legs, clasp your hands, and close your eyes. Sit in a meditative posture. Observe your in-breath and out-breath. When our mind going into the thinking with a reasoning, we made all advances from the doer portion and started thinking at our will. Now, we are no more unconscious thinkers. We are not doing or we are not acting out of impulsion or out of just reaction. Anything we are doing, we are thinking with a reason. We balanced our feelings and desires. In the midst of the society, in the midst of samsara, while deliberately doing all the responsibilities, we are still unattached by the bondage. As a result, we are not accumulating any karma. We are in isolation. Isolation in the sense, isolation from the nature. Being in the nature, we are isolated from the nature. We are thinking in the reason. So, we have only one desire, the desire to know, self-knowledge. It is adjusting the doer to the reason. Thinking and righteousness, achieving communion, so the feeling and desire now become selfless blessedness. We are in that stage. Any day-to-day life, anything we do, do not go with your body mind, go with your reasoning mind, righteousness mind. Balance your feelings and desires. This is the first step to enter into the self-realization. Please rub your palms and keep on your eyes for a few seconds and open your eyes with a beautiful smile on your face. Okay. Now, let us go to the point number 25. 25 is also talking about reasoning and righteousness. What is happening once you reach to that stage? He is saying you see the order in the universe. Once you are in that mind, reasoning and right, because we are in that, out of 7 minds, we are in the 4th and 5th mind, righteousness mind and reasoning mind, right? So when you are in that mind, you see the order in the universe. Nothing is like coming haphazardly. There is an order in the universe, in the life world, in the form world, and in the physical world. Whatever is happening, all these worlds, you will see there is an order. That is what you would be feeling when you reach to this point. So you are in the access, the human relations or anything, right? You are actually able to see that the order is there and nothing is like happening just like that, or it's not a coincidence, or it is not anything. It is happening for a reason. That is what you will be able to understand when you come to this particular passage or particular stage of your life. Okay. Universal regularity and order. Universal regularity, whatever that is happening in the universe, it's happening with a following certain principles. The universe, from the largest, so many worlds, right? Smallest world, from the largest world, from noetic world to the life world to the form world to the physical world. And in the physical, the smallest unit, you are seeing that there is a regularity, there is a sequence, there is a law. Without law, no cyclones are coming. Without law, no fire accidents is happening. Without law, there is no inventions are happening. Everything and anything is happening according to the universal law. That is an understanding that we'll be getting it. Nothing happens randomly. All processes, all has energies, all has movements. It is following some fixed principles. That is the law of universe. So at this stage, you will understand that everything in this world that is happening, everything that is happening to you and to me is having a purpose. It's having a law. That is what it's happening. Okay. Human relations are also governed by law. All the human relations, why we met in this platform now, there are so many hundreds of people has reached this news, but only why few of the us only has done. So every human relation, everything that is coming to has governed by the law. It has to come to you at this point in life. Human interactions and relationship between individuals and the worlds are not kiosk. They are not chaotic. They have some purpose. Any human interaction that we are talking between individuals or between the world or between anything, it has some purpose, meaning. Action and reactions follow unerring continuity. For everything, for every action and reaction is having some kind of continuity, meaning every cause has an effect. Everything that has a cause has an effect. Every effect is arisen from the previous cause. Now whatever you're doing will have an effect. But why you are doing, that is also has a previous cause is also there. This reflects a moral, mental, physical lawfulness and behind the life. So again the question comes, when everything was designed, why should I do that? Whatever, if I go and kill some person and then say this is happening according to the law, if you say that, then again you are in the trouble, because let us take some X person has to die that day. Has to die that day according to his karmic bondage. Let us take. He can die in a different forms, but there is a person, some why he has so much is stirring up out of grudge or anger or anything, that he is killing that person X. X has died. So here is the two reasons. X died that day because there is a cause, there is a reason that his life has to end that day. But why? Whatever that action that he has done, he is actually inculcating, or he is actually accumulating his karma, his karmic bondage. Why he has done, there is always a choice, right? Whenever some anger comes, he has a choice, and he's in his mind, his consciousness saying that it is not right, but still he's did it, because again that there comes the free will and free will concept also, right? So out of the free will, he may not, suppose because that person has to die that day, right? That's why he killed. No, that person may die in an accident, that person may die in a different reasons. But if you are doing here the two things, out of his karmic bondage, the person X died on that day. But person Y, because of doing that act, he inculcated the thing. So both has law. Both are governed by the law. If you are doing that, suppose if you do not give anything, you were given, like in even in Baba Charitra, or even in Upanishads, they will say for any person you will be given two choices. One is the good, one gives happiness, one gives shreshtamanadi santoshadayaka. In Telugu they say that. So these are the two things they'll say. One is giving you like good comfort, happiness. One is really good for you. It's a, so which one you choose is all your thing. The two choices was given in front of you. So those who are actually wise, they will take it, which is sreshtam. So which is the good thing that they will take. Those who are actually with the nature things, they will see the temporary happiness. They will seek it. That's what everything has a law and effect. This reflects moral, mental, physical lawfulness of the behind the life. So why this person has actually killing? Again, it has a moral law because this person has just drawn from the animal life to the human life. So because of that, all that animal instincts are there in his body. That is why whenever he get angry, he's going and killing because of his animal instinct. Suppose if sadhu is there in that case, if some renounced person is there, or the person like not even sadhu or renounced, the person like you and me, how much ever we got angry, we won't go and kill the person. We know the consequences too, and we don't kill the person, right? How we may judge, but we don't do it. So that is the thing. So again, behind that, why he has done also, there is a law behind it because he just came out of the animal kingdom. So because of that, animal instincts are still there within him. How external objects, here also external objects is also influencing your human consciousness. Objects and events stimulate your feelings and desires. That is why there are so many people will go, oh, I'll go to Himalayas and stay, or I'll go to the forest and stay because I just need some kind of a cool environment so that my sadhana will go well. I don't want to touched by this external noise. That's the reason they are going, right? Even me also, let me go get charged myself to stay in a calmer place. So even when we are doing so, these are all the external objects are stimulating our human consciousness. Those feelings and desires are leading to a thought, because just small example as I always give. So whenever you go to a party, you see some jewelry, you see some dress, or if you go or you see somebody riding a good sports car, you are based on your interest, right? So based on your interest, you that external thought came. So that thought is that desire is stimulating your thought. Whatever the desire that you saw, it is stimulating your thought, and that thought is triggering, means that thought is triggering to into the action. So here your external world is triggering your emotion, your emotions are triggering your thinking is leading to the thought that is you are stimulating, and how to do it, what to do it, and again you are actually doing some action. In the same way, it can happen the other way also. So means this is a worldwide worldly nature, that nature binding, right? So when you went to some retreat, so there you feel that very calm peacefulness. You saw somebody living a very simple life with 4 or 5 dresses, they're just actually having it. So you want to live that kind of simplistic life, minimalistic life. That also triggered your emotion. Oh, how nice! Just have some 2 3 dresses, wash it, keep it, and then do it. So how simple the life is. So then that started thinking, what should I do after my responsibilities? What I can do it. This is a kind of thinking you got. So that thinking you started accumulating or doing something like, okay, you planning something like after such and such a time I will go and live there. So that is a kind of action. So that is the inner changes happen. So it can happen. You can go to the worldly or you can go to the inner change. This is again, you will say generally in a what do you say, in a personal development classes, we will say, so always watch out your thoughts, because watch out your thoughts, because those thoughts are the one which is actually triggering your words. Your words are the one which is actually affecting our whatever it is coming, you are doing the action. So that action is actually defining your personality. That's what we say when you are in the personal development classes. Here in the opposite, the external world is influencing your emotion is influencing your thinking is triggering some action in this external world. Okay, the nature and the journey of a thought. What is the nature and what is the journey of a thought, right? One can see, understand what thought is made up of. What is a thought is made up of? How the thought was born or conceived? How was the thought is conceived in our mind? How thinking is influencing the states of the matter. So matter here, matter means here what it is. Matter is your brain. Your brain is the matter. Your physical body is the matter. Your subtle and mental thing is a matter. So subtle energy or mental energy is also the matter. So all these things, brain, physical body, subtle energy, all these things are actually influencing. How? By your thought. By thought was influenced by your emotion. Your emotion was triggered by external thing. Okay, thoughts are not a passive. Once the thought comes, they are not passive. Once you release the thought into this world, they are not passive. It is very active. That is what I always insist to my kids and everybody. Whenever you're releasing a thought, don't release a negative thought. Always release a positive, miraculous kind of the thought. Whether it's happening or not, just try to. There's nothing wrong in releasing a great thought, right? Why to think low about yourself? Think great about yourself. Release that kind of thought. Thoughts are not at all once produced, they affect the body and brain. Once some thought came into your brain, again I'll take that same example of the jewelry piece or a car or anything, right? So once you thought, that will be lingering in your mind. Oh, that car is so nice. If I drive this, I have been wanting to have that sports car since long. I have been wanting to have that jewelry since long. So when can I buy? Where can I buy? Now the jewelry price is more, the gold prices. So this is the kind. It will not make you keep quiet. It affecting your brain and as a result your body. And it will influence your behavior. That thought is influencing your behavior. It shapes your future thinking. What should be done? How can I save? What do I need to do something else in order to earn? So it is actually shaping your future thinking. It is imposing and resolving your conditions of the life. Everything is affecting with that thought. It is affecting physical body, brain. It's affecting your behavior. It's affecting your future, and it is affecting. It is resolving all the conditions in your life. That's the power, how the thought is actually going. Then the struggle and exteriorization of the thought. Once the thought is released, then the exteriorization. Any thought that meets opposition, whether internal or external, battles for expression. Once it came, it battles for expression. You want to express. Eventually, you must exteriorize, you must manifest or materialize on this physical plane. Once the thought comes, you must exteriorize. It has to be manifested in this physical plane. It may travel to all the worlds and come back, but it has to manifest. This suggests thoughts become circumstances. That's why it says thoughts become circumstances, actions, events, realities. In olden days, they say at the time of the death, if there is any wishes that has to be fulfilled, give it to him. Even if you want, they say that even if he wants to eat a palkova, a small sweet, then if that is not fulfilled, he has to come back for that. That's what they say. It has a lot of meaning in it, right? So which means that if you are actually releasing a one thought without exteriorizing, without fulfilling, you have to take another birth in order to fulfill that thought. They gave very subtle manner, but here he has given, Percival is given whole cycle how the thought is actually traveling. It becomes, your thoughts are becoming your circumstances, your actions, your events, and finally your thought is becoming the reality. The law of balance. Thoughts continue to circulate inner world. In your inner world, it is continue to circulate inner world until they are balanced. Well, unbalanced. Suppose if the thought is not unbalanced, they return again and again. reappear in your life, influence your experiences. If the thought was not balanced, they reappear. Again, I give you an example, right? Suppose when you say, yeah, you have taken someone's health's money and you didn't return, and your life is gone, last life, and to this life, you will try to attract the same kind of. So somebody will come and take $100, disappear. He didn't give, and you are actually shouting at them, or you are judging them, or whatever it is. Next person also does it. Next person also does that, because repeated experiences are coming in your life, because you need to balance that thought. Oh, some lifetime I would have done this to somebody. That's why this experience came to me. Okay, let it be. That means you balanced your thought. Once you learn that lesson, it won't repeat. Unless otherwise, it will repeat in your life until you learn that lesson. It influences your experiences. Once the balance comes, means when the thought was understood, harmonized, and it is resolved, then it will not repeat. Whose responsibility is it? It is self-responsibility. Nobody, no guru will come and teach you all the things. It is your responsibility that you need to balance your thoughts in every lifetime. Man is his own maker, his own checker. He's his own maker and his own unmaker. The experiences that all you got in this life is you make those experiences. If you do not want, it is you who has to make the unmaker also. You are the witness, you are the judge of your circumstances. There is a no Chitragupta or nobody who is judging you and giving you all the punishments. It is your own consciousness. You are the witness of whatever is happening, and you are judging yourself what you have done right or wrong. There is a no external being punishing or rewarding. Nobody is rewarding you, and nobody is going to punish you. Remember that. Okay? The consequences of one's thinking and actions construct destiny. The consequences of our own thinking and our own actions only constructing our destiny. So this is our self responsibility. Next, universal order and precision. Everything universal, it has to align with that. Nothing, no matter how small that the thing is happening, is not an accidental. Remember, everything that is happening in your life is not an accidental. It is governed by law, and it may be occurring in future. Event, tiniest event, fits perfectly into the universal order. If something happened out of order, the entire cosmic balance will be disturbed. So nothing will happen out of order. But such a disorder cannot occur, because the cosmic disorder cannot happen. So everything is happening in the cosmic order. Reality is flawless and precise in its functioning. Everything that is happening is flawless and precise in its functioning. Shared human experiences. Every humans go through. The observer has already gone through. This is a mutuality and repetition of the human evolution. So this is the mutuality and the repetition of human evolution. So you need to go through certain things and learn the experience and then move on. Go through, learn, and move on. That's the thing. This implies universal learning. We all have to do some mistakes, do the things, and then learn and then evolve. So this is universal learning. We all share struggles. We all share evolution of consciousness also. We all share the struggles. Out of the struggles we evolve, and we experience or we witness the evolution of our consciousness too. We are inevitable awakening. We cannot say that I don't awaken, I will sit here, I'll enjoy it. No, in awakening is also inevitable. At one point we have to awaken. Every person must eventually awaken. They should become conscious of all these are all illusions. They cannot bind me. Someday everybody has to learn. Discover. They need to discover this with the help of your creative thought power. With the creative thought power only, you need to discover this fact. You need to free them yourself from the attachment and ignorance. Free yourself from this attachment and the ignorance. Someday, every one of us has to do it. Liberation is not an optional. Remember, oh, I will go 10 more lifetimes. Liberation is not an optional. You may extend your lifetimes because of your ignorance, but it is not an optional. It is must. It is destined development. Once you came to this world, right? So I will be staying at teenage only. Is it possible? No, right? You have to eventually cross the teenage, cross the childhood, cross the teenage, cross everything, and then eventually get old age and die. Similarly, here also, you cannot liberated is not a choice. You have to get liberated. Liberation is not optional. It is a destined development. Identity of the doer and thinker. Here, at this stage, reasoning and thing, we are identity of the reasoning, identity of the thinker and the doer and the thinker. The speaker, that is the awakened consciousness. Who is the speaker here? The awakened consciousness. What he sees itself as the thinker. He sees itself as not as a doer, but he sees itself as a thinker. That is righteousness and reasoning. And the doer, the feeling and desire. So it sees itself as a two, thinker and the doer, both. Additionally, once you reach to that stage, what you will see? What is the next stage? The next point is next stage. What is the next stage? Sorry. What is the next stage?
Can you repeat it?
Now we are the doer and thinker. We balanced our feeling and desire. We balanced our righteousness and reasoning. So what is the next stage?
Knower.
Knower. So I-ness. Additionally, when you go to the deeper, the 5 minds that we have seen, right? Body mind, feeling mind, desire mind, righteousness mind, and reasoning mind. The next one is I-ness. The deeper identity, you need to go deeper identity of I-ness, the self. One is consciousness of it, but does not yet fully know it. But when it comes to the here, they are consciousness of I-ness, but they are not fully known to that particular stage. One is conscious of it. This is the beginning. This is the beginning of true realization. Self-realization started. Again, I-ness means it is a true realization. It started. Complete understanding of the past development. At this stage, your consciousness remembers. What is your first experience? How the illusions were started. Every illusion you experienced in many re-existences, you experienced that illusion. The awakening from the dream-like state to the dream-like state of ignorance. The process of rectifying the body through correct thinking. The process of rectifying the body through the correct thinking. All knowledge of the previous events. All the knowledge of all the previous event. This is the state of spiritual maturity, or this is state of clarity. Spiritual maturity and clarity comes here. Okay, conscious of unbroken identity, continuous unbroken identity. It is not consciously you're broken, but your unbroken identity you are doing it. So that means, so once you reach to the I-ness, because previously, until now, we are in the stage of one day I will see I'm a body mind, I'm Prasanna, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, they are not recognizing, blah, blah, blah. Okay, the others say, so I want to do that. Some feeling comes, some desire comes. Then when I'm doing this thing, okay, this desire, is it comes from my consciousness or is it coming from my body mind? I'm thinking this. Then I'm just trying to balance the teeth. But once you reach the I-ness stage, it is unbroken identity. What is that observer? He knew that I am the same. I am there. I am in this existence. I am now and I may be in the future. So there is this thought will not change. Despite of many lifetimes, many bodies, many forms and many experiences, this me was unbroken. This was not changed. This is the observer. There is nothing that it can change. But ultimate origin, the total history of identity still remains the same. This is the threshold, or this is the complete realization of that self. That is where we will be in when you are thinking of the righteousness and reasoning. So here in this 25th point, he is saying, we perceive the spiritual insight where a person here is, he perceives a lawful order of the universe. He understands everything is according to the law. He understands how the thoughts are shaping into the reality and as a result, the destiny. And he recognizes nothing is accidental, everything is happening for a reason. He sees themselves as a cause and effect in their own life. He understands reincarnation and personal evolution. He has awakened from illusion but has not fully realized to the ultimate self. He awakened that illusion he came out of, but he did not completely come to the ultimate self. Okay, it is the description, or it is the soul. You can define this soul as a conscious soul, a wise soul, a responsible soul, and ready to go to the next step of self-realization. So once you reach the point, you are conscious, wise, responsible, and you are ready to go to the next phase of self-realization. That is where the point 25 ends. That is thinking righteousness and reasoning continuous point. It's a continuous point to that. Okay. Now we are into the second, the doer, thinker. So we have to go to the knower portion. From 26th point, we are going to the knower portion. 26, what is the point? You know the purpose. You now purpose to know the reality of what you are conscious of as I. Now it is your purpose to know who am I, the conscious I. When you come here, you are consciously, you want to know who am I. The path of realizing I-ness. Okay. Reaching a direct awareness of I-ness requires thinking in the two higher minds. What is the two higher minds? Minds that human beings are ordinarily do not yet know how to use it. What is those? I-ness, selfness. Those are the two minds, right? When you think only yourself as I, you attract the mind of I-ness, which begins to awaken. So that's where you are beginning to awaken. So in this point, he is actually concentrating on that I-ness. So searching for the I-ness, it's not an isolation. Remember, it's not an isolation. It is I-ness. One does not find I-ness by withdrawing from the nature in the world. By you withdraw yourself from the world and go and sit somewhere, you will not find that I-ness. You are isolating somewhere. That may require to some extent when you are practicing it, but if you are in the Himalayas all through your life and you are saying doing the japam, if you say that you self-realize, no, because you need to be in this society like the people, I can say Ramana Maharshi or Baba, all those people, they didn't go to somewhere, they were there in front with the people, but they realized. That's how you need to be. So once searching the I-ness is not a isolation. It should be in the world. You should go into the internal thing, centering the I alone. You need to go to the internal and centering I alone. Why blankness appears here? The blankness appears when you are here. The blankness means here the thought focuses solely on I. I means that witness I, not this bodily I. Remember, we are not actually doing the bodily I. It does not include, this I does not include your body. This I does not include your senses. This I does not include your feelings and desires. This I does not include your nature also. And also, this I does not include your reason also. Okay, reason comes when the feeling is there, when a desire is there, then you are actually judging with the reason, because the reasoning and the feeling and desire is not there with this I, because none of these are included. What happens? It is complete blank. That is sunyam, right? That is the state, blank state. Again, here he is saying, any sadhakas, whenever you are doing that, at any stage you can fall down like a snakes and ladders. Here also, this blankness can be of two types. Okay, one is dead blankness. Dead blankness is stoppage of your thought. You are not actually doing any thought. You are just stopping your thought. That's a dead blankness. And thinking collapses. Your thinking is completely collapses and you must restart completely afresh, because previous bodily thinking, all the things was, that is a one kind of blankness. The other kind of blankness is, right, a barrier was created long ago. For this thinking, a barrier was built in order to separate, choose to. So it was built, separated. It is separating yourself from that. There is a barrier and it is separated. No, you will again choose to exist in the male or female body. You consciously choose to exist here. This separation caused the loss of unity, because whenever you are separating yourself from that I, right, what happened? It lost its thing, and that eternal I to you, it lost. As a result, the doer become wanderer, forgetfulness, darkness. There are people you will see, they did so much sadhana. They did so much sadhana. You will see even in our TVs or somewhere. So they did so much sadhana, but when they reached to the blankness, right, they couldn't handle or they couldn't do it. They decided, no, 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 I want to live something kind of thing. So they couldn't handle that shunyam. So again, they wanted to live like Swamiji, like all that thing, right? So they just want to come back. Or some people, when they will also become like kind of a mad kind of thing. If you say their forgetfulness, they will go into the darkness. There are the two here also at this stage also. Once you crossed all the five minds, also at the sixth mind, there is a possibility that you may fall down. It's not that they didn't come back to the body mind, but they have stopped their evolution there. They couldn't go back, go upwards. So you need to stoppage the thoughts. You have to start your thinking with a fresh, but with the new knowledge. But you shouldn't become like a wanderness or a forgetfulness. The darkness you should not go. Passing through blankness. How you can pass through this blankness? By continuously thinking of this I, the darkness eventually opens. When you are thinking continuously this I means what is that I, why, what is happening, all the things. Whenever you are thinking continuously that I, the thinking does not stop, the barrier dissolves. So it opens that barrier, whatever that barrier you have, and the thinking does not stop, but this thinking is depending on, with the at sixth stage, with that I-ness mind you think. The moment of realization will comes here. When blankness ceases, you are becoming conscious of that I-ness. When blankness is ceasing, you are becoming that conscious of I-ness. Not only the conscious of it, but conscious as I-ness. Not only you are witnessing I-ness, but you are becoming that I-ness. Witnessing I-ness. Suppose we saw that Raman Maharshi, how he is, we saw that Sai Baba, how he is, or Patrisa, how he is. But these are all the people you are witnessing. But at this stage, you will become that. You will become that consciousness. That's what he is saying. I-ness uses its own mind, identity, to itself. It's not identifying, it is using to itself. In that moment, you are that I-ness. You are not witnessing I-ness. At this moment, you are that I-ness. Any questions? I'll stop a bit. No questions means you understood until now? So at this point, when you are becoming I-ness, you're conscious, you are not seeing that. So there is a supreme consciousness, there is something which is so much, so all the things. You are not actually witnessing that outside. You are becoming that I-ness consciousness. That is the state of, when you are in the state of I-ness, what happens? You are not bound by past or future. You're not worried about your past or future. Time still exists, but you're not affected by the time. All horizons, limits, boundaries, everything vanishes. You exist in the eternal, within and beyond the time. There is a no motion, no change, no flow. Just self-consciousness identity is endless of the light. So there, just that there is no motion, there's no motion, no change, no flow, but your self-consciousness is having that endless of that light. Your permanent, unchanging reality or unchanging identity. You are that permanent, unchanging identity now. You are not something different here. Triune identity. When you are consciousness as an I-ness, so you are righteousness and reasoning. You balance your feelings and desires. You are that I-ness. All the three, all are unified as your identity. They're all unified as your identity. At this point, you don't have any doubts. You don't have any questions. You don't feel wonderful or anything. You don't wonder. You don't feel wonderful. There is no feature. Everything is everything. You know that. You are simply pure, calm, eternal knowing. You're pure, calm, and eternal knowing. Nothing can disturb your serenity of consciousness. You became such a pure consciousness, nothing is actually disturbing your serenity or your consciousness. You are becoming that eternal I. Determination for completion. As I-ness, you choose to bring the rest of the triune self into the knowledge. Rest of the triune self into the knowledge. What is that? First part, the doer. You are experiencing that feeling and desire, balancing it. The thinker, you are actually thinking for everything, righteousness and reasoning, and now following it. The knower, the selfness. The knower, the selfness. Everything you are actually coming to the completion, not conclusion, completion. Transition to the mind of selfness. Here from I-ness to you are transitioning yourself to the selfness. You are now qualified to think with the mind of selfness. You are qualified now. With all the things crossed, you are now qualified to think with the mind of selfness. Unlike earlier stages, there is no obstacles here, there is no barriers here, there is no darkness to overcome. Everything was crystal clear. You became selfness has been preparing the path for ages. This is the path you have been taken incarnations after incarnations after incarnations, and this for this path only you did all the things. Now you prepared yourself. So what selfness has done, what it has done through, it has evaluated the ages of evolution. Selfness has become. You didn't get to this stage because of just now or whatever that you have done in this lifetime. Because of the ages and ages, incarnations of incarnation, you did so much. Because of that, you came here. Even to listen to this also, you should do so much to come to this stage. We all are fortunate enough to do so much, able to grasp these lessons today. Pass the knowledge to a reason, guided reason, guided reason to administer justice, directed the exteriorization of that thought. It means you are manifesting the life, overseen human relations and karmic balance. You are seeing that overseen the human relations and the karmic balance. This long preparation makes final transition effortless. This preparation, right, it is making you the final transition, which is becoming very effortless. What is the final realization? When you think with the mind of selfness, you are immediately conscious of selfness. You do not merely know about selfness because you don't know about selfness because you are that selfness. You are that pure consciousness. At this point, you are knower, thinker, and doer. So these three are not separate. You are completed the triune self. You are a completed triune self. In one sentence, if I have to tell, continuous thinking of I dissolves ancient barriers of blankness and you awaken consciousness of I-ness and finally leading to the identification of itself with the triune self. So itself with the triune self is uniting that knower, thinker and doer as one unit. That is the one, the point 26 the other is trying to say. Okay, I'll just repeat a few points of the point 26. The final goal here in the 26 that he is saying is you need to reach to that I-ness. Why? What is the purpose? To know the reality, who you are. What is that consciousness? That is a thing, right? What is the method? What is the method of reaching I-ness? So thinking the two minds, within the thinking the two minds that you are not able to use. What is the minds that you are not able to use? I-ness and selfness. Until then we have five minds until yesterday. Body mind, feeling mind, design mind, righteousness mind, reasoning mind. Five minds are there. Yet you didn't know that two minds, that is I-ness mind and selfness mind. That we know that when you comes to that stage, you know that they exist, but you don't know how to use it.
So then call for the I-ness, thinking you are that I and your mind is that I-ness. Then start. Center, encounter with the blankness. Center yourself with that I-ness. Focus the mind exclusively that I-ness, righteousness and reasoning, feeling and desire and physical body and nature. All the things cross that stage and come to that I-ness, the blankness. That is why in the meditation also, many people will say, many gurus, when you are actually closing your eyes, you get some visions. It's not that visions are bad, but remember, those visions are nothing but the seeds. Whatever the seeds that you are there, that is only coming. Or whatever that impressions that you have created from the external world. Today, I taught all the thing, right? Today, whenever I am teaching all the things, so whenever I'm thinking about it, because whenever previously, now it is a continuous, but previously when the Thursday comes, right, Thursday night, all my dreams, all my visions are about my lessons only. Because we have externally traveled in that, right? So we made some impressions on our self. So that self, whatever the impressions that you have, that only coming up in the night also. That only coming up your mind when you are meditating it. So these things are nothing but they are surface level. When that seed, whatever the things that are there, only it is coming up. Don't think or don't try to analyze that. Actual meditation means cross all that thing, cross all those visions, cross all those, not only sattva rajas, not only tamo rajas guna, even sattva guna you have to cross. Sattva rajas tamo guna you have to cross, and where you have to go? It's an emptiness, complete emptiness. That's where the blankness you need to go. That's where the I-ness. So whatever that is coming, do not caught up with all those things. Just go beyond that. Okay, definitely, as I mentioned many a times, with my 4 or 5 years of sadhana itself, I could recognize whenever I go, I could recognize the energy, how the energy is there, how these things are there. Subtleness, I could, but don't caught up. Don't start. Similarly, when the yogis are doing that kind of thing, they will get some siddhis. Do not caught up with those siddhis. Everyone will get, because it's again the god, the universe is trying to test you. So do you want to stop it over there? So do cross all the things and cross to that I-ness. Encounter with the blankness. Focus your mind exclusively on an I. Exclude your righteousness and reasoning, all feeling and desire, physical body and nature, everything exclude. Go to that darkness, blankness. This thinking leads to the blankness, which is the barrier built with the doer. Doer has the right to become unity with that I-ness. Every doer is having a right to become one with the I-ness by attempting to divide. Suppose if you attempt again, there I want to live in my own body, male and female, and then wander in this world because I know so many things. Then again you are wandering into this society. You went up to stage and you are wandering. That blankness is different thing. So you want to choose that, or you want to go to the I-ness. So identify with your I-ness, that once that blankness opens, the conscious I-ness, you will not be witnessing that I-ness, but you will become that I-ness. So once you become that I-ness, right, your mind is identifying itself. You are becoming that I-ness. As an I-ness, you are beyond your time. There is no past and there is no future. You are beyond your time. Your conscious identity is eternal. You are boundless of that light. You are conscious permanence of the identity. Your conscious permanence of that identity. Then you will start with the thinking with the selfness. Selfness as a knowledge. What is that knowledge? This being is now conscious of its own identity and aims to complete all the parts of the triune self. Now that being is trying to complete all the parts of the triune self. Mind of selfness. What it is doing, the self has already qualified itself by thinking with other minds, allowing to easily think of conjunction with the selfness, because all minds you cross it, right? So you are conjunction with the selfness. What is the selfness role? Selfness has used to its mind through ages to impart knowledge to reason. It's trying to impart the knowledge to the reasons. From ages and ages, you learn so much things. It is actually giving all the reason, whatever you have done from the ages and ages, because of that, you have to take this many incarnations. It is saying that. Selfness has used its mind through ages. Now it knows all why you have taken this many. It is nobody's fault. It is your own fault. It is your own thing. It is your own cause and effect. You took these many births. So finally, knowledge comes to that thinking with the mind of the selfness, right? You got immediate consciousness of itself. So you are now the triune self. You are the knower, you are the thinker, you are the doer. So you are the three here. Those three got united, which means you are that triune self. With that, I'll stop lesson today. Point 25.